It was a day like every other work day as a crisis response counselor when I got the call that an employee had died. She died in a car accident the night before after working her shift at the front desk as a concierge at a large apartment building in DC. The building management company wanted immediate on-site support, so I went off to DC to help this company's employees cope with their grief. I've been providing this kind of response across my career. So I arrive at this very nice apartment building, and I'm greeted by human resources, the ladies of HR. The HR ladies were happy to see me so they could hand this crisis off to me. And they said, "Barbara, thank you so much for coming so quickly. We have employees waiting for you upstairs." They escorted me upstairs to an empty apartment, and employees were lined up waiting for a grief group session. As I entered this apartment, I could see it was a small unit. It looked really clean. There was only a metal table, some metal chairs, and one cushy upholstered chair. So I put my coat and bag down in that chair, and I settled in to lead the group. Employees talked about their shock and their sadness at losing their coworker so suddenly. And the group wrapped up with hugs and tears, and employees thanked me for coming. I grabbed my coat and bag, and I headed back to the lobby. When I got to the lobby, the ladies of HR said, "Would you stay to see one more person?" She was the closest coworker of the employee who died. I said, "Sure." So back up to the apartment I went with that employee, and I sat down and helped her talk about her shock and her sadness. And as our time grew to a close, she got quiet, and she said, "You know, I'm surprised we're meeting in this apartment." And I said, "Why?" And she paused and said, "Well, it was vacated for bed bugs last week. It's the only reason it's empty." I looked at her. She looked at me. I looked over at the cushy chair that had my coat and bag, only to see with true horror that small brown bugs were crawling across my things. We both looked at each other and screamed, "Oh my God, bed bugs!" Suddenly, I realized I had taken that coat, put it on, taken that bag, gone to the lobby. It was contaminated. I was contaminated with bed bugs. We both started shaking and cursing, "Shit, shit, shit!" And I bolted from the apartment as I gingerly grabbed my things, and we headed for the elevator. We got to the lobby, and the ladies of HR were there, but there was another gentleman. And the HR ladies approached and they said, "Barbara, we want to introduce the CEO of our company. He wants to thank you for coming today." I am suddenly faced with the hand of Mr. CEO. And he says, "Barbara, thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate it." I'm panicked. I'm frozen. Do I shake the hand of Mr. CEO and pass bed bugs to him? I mean, just what is the etiquette for bed bugs? So I said, "Well, you're welcome, but it turns out I need help now because your building has bed bugs in it." Now his face changed. He was confused. He didn't know what to do. So the ladies of HR stepped in to rescue him from me. I said to the ladies of HR, "I need a bathroom. I need to get out of these clothes right now." The HR ladies looked annoyed, and they casually led me to a laundry room. They took my bag, dumped out the contents, took my coat, threw it in a dryer, and they pointed down the hall to a bathroom. As I entered the bathroom, it was the nastiest, grossest gas station bathroom you've ever encountered, times 100. It was sticky, smelly, grimy, and there were disgusting brown stains everywhere. I entered the stall, and I quickly began to yank off my clothes and pull at my hair, and now I am naked, standing in squalor. I had to pull myself back together with some relief and exit the bathroom. And when I do, the ladies of HR dismissively hand me my coat and bag and said, "Thank you for coming." I can't contain myself any longer, and I said, "I know what I saw in that apartment." HR ladies smugly say, "We treated that apartment. We think you're fine." I'm in an alternative universe where bed bugs are fine? I know. I need to get out of this building. And so I take my coat and bag and I say goodbye. As I exit the building, a thunderstorm erupts, Now I am drenched and furious walking to Metro. And when I get to Metro, I am the poster child of the paranoid, disheveled person. I am eyeing everyone suspiciously, and I'm picking at my skin. All I wanted to do was get home, and it was the longest Metro ride ever. When I got home, right there in my foyer, stripped off every inch of clothing, I threw it out the front door like yesterday's garbage, made my way to the fridge where I opened not one beer, but 2 beers. Double-fisted, I made my way to the shower. And I said, who knew that death, dying, loss, and tragedy was not the worst of my day, but coming face to face with man's most evil pests, bed bugs?